Hey everyone, so I wanted to take a little bit of time to shoot a quick video and talk about laboratory efficiency. Now, if you're watching this video and you don't work in a laboratory, um, I think this video is still going to be something that everybody can get something out of. So even if it's not particularly a laboratory, I think that these ideas will also have application in other work environments as well. So when I first was first starting out after college, I had a job in a frozen storage lab. And it was a pretty straightforward job. You basically made sure that what was on the test tube matched what was on the paperwork, and that this matched what was in the computer. So it was a lot of receiving samples, putting them in storage, making sure they were logged into our database, getting them back out of storage, when the client wanted them, and sending them back out. So the way I've put it before is it was almost like being a librarian for frozen samples. Now, one of the techniques we had to do during this process involved comparing two lists. So you had a list of samples, I think it was, that the client wanted, and you had a list of samples that were in storage, and there was a lot of matching back and forth you had to do. And this was a process that would have taken 4 hours twice a week. So that's a lot of time. That's the equivalent of a full day's worth of man hours. Now, I looked at this and said, well, wait a minute, we could program a macro to do this automatically. So I went and programmed a spreadsheet in Excel at the end of the day, and it was just like, at the end of the day, you'd have like 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, and so cumulatively over the course of about an hour, I was able to create a macro that was able to match up these two lists. So this entire process that took a person about 4 hours twice a week, I was able to automate this in about 1 hour. Now, a lot of people have concerns about automation replacing jobs and this, that, and the other. And I understand those concerns, but some of those are kind of misplaced, and that's something I can maybe talk about in another video. But the main takeaway that I want to convey with this is that automation and efficiency doesn't necessarily have to be a huge time investment. If you look around, a lot of times there's ways that you can be more efficient, ways that you can semi-automate your processes, and it doesn't necessarily have to take a long time. It doesn't necessarily have to be a huge project. Sometimes it's very small changes that can have the biggest effects. And I've worked in other labs where I've created large-scale macro projects to help automate processes. I've done things to help automate the efficiency of the workflow process. So there's a lot you can do. One book that I read said that about 80% of ideas that help a company come from the front lines. So of all of the ideas used to help make a company more efficient, more productive, more profitable, those ideas are mostly coming from the front lines. They're not coming as much from the CEOs or the or management. They're coming from the actual workers themselves, the frontline workers, I should say. So that's definitely something to keep in mind, and also to keep in mind in terms of workplace culture. Making sure that that everybody is valued, making sure the people at the front lines know that they're valued and respected, because that's where you're really going to get a lot of your ideas. That's where you're really going to get a lot of your efficiency. And I think it's those companies that respect their workers, treat their workers well. They're the ones that are going to get these ideas to make themselves more efficient. So those are some thoughts I have about laboratory efficiency. If you have any thoughts, definitely leave them in the comments section. I'd love to hear what you have to say. But for right now, I really hope that everyone is able to get something out of this video. So let me know what you think, and I look forward to speaking to you next time.